Welcome to FRC Media News for Thursday, November 2nd, 2017. I'm Donna Mata. With the Fall River final election set for next Tuesday, November 7th, we dedicate most of this program to information provided by the candidates through various public forums, as well as details about a new no smoking policy recently implemented at Fall River's public housing units. But first, let's check in with Will Richmond, digital news editor of the Fall River Herald News. Hello, Will. It's nice to talk with you this week.
Hi, Donna. How you doing?
As you know, Keith's away at a conference, and it's you and me today. Why don't we start off with the election coverage, starting with the WSAR radio debate that was held Thursday, November 1st, between mayoral candidates Jaziel Correa II and Linda Pereira. From what I can see, it was a little bit feisty between the two of them, discussing some of the issues. What do you think were the key highlights?
Yeah, well, certainly, the two of them have been have gone at each other pretty well through this process. It seemed, they got into a lot of the same issues that have been the common themes of this election, from public safety to economic development. So those themes continued through this debate, and I would expect that they've got more debates lined up for the rest of this week. So those will probably be some of the hot topics going forward ahead of Election Day on Tuesday.
I know the moderator had asked Linda Pereira at one point what she respected about Mayor Correa, and she said, well, I appreciate the fact that he went to college and graduated. And Jaziel Correa, on his part, said that he respected the fact that she had a family and that the family was supporting her. So they didn't really get to the professional part of that question. I thought that was interesting. And another part of that debate was the question about the home rule charter changes, the proposed changes that will be a ballot question this coming Tuesday. Linda did not say she would vote for or against that ballot question. However, Jaziel Correa did a very firm no. He said, no, I will not be voting for the changes to the charter, which, as you know, Will, is over 80 years old. So it was a little feisty going back and forth between the two candidates. There's another debate scheduled for tonight at Cuss Middle School. This is Thursday, November 2nd, for those of you who are tuning in now. So we'll see how this unfolds, and Election Day will finally be here before we know it.
Yeah, it will be nice to kind of get past this part of the process and move on to Tuesday's election and see how these races for school committee, city council, and mayor all turn out, and start to move towards the next phase of city government.
Yes, we'll see how that pans out, like you said, and we'll see you there, of course. Another event that happened was a press conference this morning, and the mayor unveiled a new city website, or I should really say a new design. I poked around, as you did, of course. It's brand new. And same information, just a different format. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think the intent is to really try to make it more user-friendly, make sure it's updated with current information. I know one of the things that was mentioned this morning, the old website, there were broken links that existed, some information was outdated. So really, this is, I think, meant to be more responsive to the regular Fall River citizens so that they can find information quickly and sort of have the keys to some aspects of city government, right from their homes and their desks at work.
I found it interesting that they have a virtual assistant that's part of the website, so you can ask questions, and it's not fully operational, I understand.
Right, that's something that will continue to be worked on, but they do have, it's always present. They say it will be present on every page you click on. So if you type in a question, you'll get some sort of search response back pretty quick, immediately. And then there's also opportunities to submit information to department heads, the mayor's office, to bring their attention to matters as well through the new website.
We should also remind residents that you can still pay the bills online that you were paying in the past. I'm not sure if any will be added. I believe that is the plan, that you can pay most of the city-related bills online. But it does have a new, fresh look, I will say that. At the beginning, there's the movement of the battleship, and that kind of movement sometimes bothers some people, sometimes not. It depends. But residents are advised to check it out and see what they think. Again, if you write in a question question to the virtual assistant, you may not get an answer right away, but as Will pointed out, you will be directed to that department. For example, if you ask, who is in charge of the water department, they won't say Terry Sullivan necessarily, but they will give you information about the water department and everything that's happening within said department. Let's see, moving on, we also have, what do we say we would discuss? There's been some crimes, and a crime spree, I guess you can say, continues here in the city with a shooting on Halloween night and a couple of others. Will, can you tell us about what the Herald has reported?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but there still seems to be a number of shots fired incidents taking place in the city. We had two women who reported being shot on Halloween night, as you mentioned, saying that they were approached by an unknown man who came out from behind a car and shot them. They were transported. They suffered 9 non-life-threatening injuries. But there's been incidents over the weekends, over the most recent weekend as well. And we continue to have our sort of ongoing spate of armed robbery incidents at local convenience stores and that sort of thing. So, the same type of crimes, they seem to be occurring and continue to occur, and as the city's trying to address these as well through their targeted initiatives.
And as we discussed, public safety was one major issue that a lot of the candidates, of course, are talking about, especially the mayoral candidates, of what they would do to make the streets safer. But we should also note that crime has always been a problem in Fall River, as well as sister cities. It's just part of city living, so to speak. So I don't think that, the Herald or FRCmedia News wants anyone to panic, but just be aware of your surroundings and be aware that the police are doing the best they can to keep the residents safe. And now, to end our discussion on a rather happy note, the holidays are almost upon us, and the Salvation Army is once again starting its Thanksgiving food drive with a turkey dinner complete with the fixings. And I know the paper had an article about that issue. Can you tell us about it, Will?
Yeah, so the Salvation Army has started up their drive. They're looking for turkeys, as you mentioned, all the fixings that go with it. They're expecting this year, between Thanksgiving and Christmas, to have 900 families signed up, which would mean, a meal for both Thanksgiving and Christmas. So 900 families, 1,800 meals. They're in need of everything, and they had kicked off their official turkey drive yesterday. So, their goal is, turkeys for Thanksgiving, hams for Christmas time, mashed potatoes, stuffing, cranberry sauce, all the things we look forward to as the holidays roll around. But they're taking donations at the Salvation Army. You can also donate at Domino's Pizza locations and in other locations. You can certainly check our article on heraldnews.com for the full list of places accepting donations, or check in with the Salvation Army as well.
Very good. Sounds good. Now, what's the paper working on for this upcoming weekend?
We hopefully are wrapping up our pre-election coverage, where you've got profiles on the two mayoral candidates, along with a story about what this campaign season has been like for the families involved with the families of candidates. So this will hopefully, like I said, be the last precursor ahead of Tuesday's big election day.
Yes, and for us journalists, that's always such a fun time. So thank you, Will, very much for your time. You have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week.
All right, have a good weekend, Donna.
Thank you. We'll have more FRC Media News right after this.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Fall River Career Center. Employment Specialist. Work Opportunities Unlimited, a human services organization, is looking for a full-time employment specialist to join the career services team to assist clients in the Fall River, Westport, and New Bedford areas. Job number 974-4392. Meals on Wheels Program Team Manager. Bristol Elder Services, located at 1 Father DeValley Boulevard, is in need of a full-time Meals on Wheels program team manager to ensure that the meal delivery process operates smoothly. Job number 975-1757. Assistant Store Manager, 7-Eleven, located at 340 Milliken Boulevard, is looking for a full-time assistant store manager to assist the store manager with store operations, forecasting, ordering, stocking, and merchandising product. Job number 975-4439. Tender Touch is looking to fulfill the following full-time positions in the Fall River area. Rehab Aide, job number 974-9420. Physical Therapist Assistant, job number 974-9421. Blount Fine Foods, located at 630 Current Road, is looking to fulfill the following full-time positions. Quality Inspector Technician, job number 975-1895. Safety Officer, job number 975-1879. For more information on these or other positions, visit FRCMediaNews.org or call the Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
Welcome back. FRC Media News sponsored a City Council Candidates Forum recently. Actually, we did too. Last week, we aired responses to several questions concerning public safety, education, economic development from Panel 1. This week, we highlight responses from Panel 2, starting with what the candidates thought about the Make It Here marketing campaign unveiled this year by Mayor Correa.
I would say that it's money well spent in the event that it does accomplish its goal, that it does move the city forward, that ultimately we're able to rebrand ourselves in a manner that puts Fall River in a positive light and puts us in the proper direction for economic development, for tourism, for things that would benefit our city and cause us to prosper so that we could be more independent than we are financially today.
Thank you. Mr. Lee.
Many candidates, mayor and city council in 2015 ran on economic development, promoted themselves as businessmen, and that mentality of our government being run as a business can go a little too far sometimes. I didn't agree with the marketing campaign because there were better ways that we could have marketed ourselves without spending that kind of money.
Mr. Long.
I was honored to serve on that branding initiative campaign and that committee. It was a very diverse committee of business people, educators, and some political people to put a better image on the city. The mayor kind of honed it down to that we need to tell our story, and the story is a very positive story that's going on in the city of Fall River. We're doing many positive things, and when we say make it here, that means a lot in many different ways. So I think it was money well spent, and I think we should keep doing those types of projects.
Thank you. Mr. Pelletier.
Thank you. Any money that we spend, as long as we don't overspend, to show that the image of Fall River is good, but we don't want to take it from fire, police, and so on. But you know, the image of Fall River is starting to get a lot better with the waterfront. This week, you got Market Basket up there. Beautiful. And that brings up the image of the city as well. And as far as spending money, I mean, as long as they cool it down, you know, taxes are high enough. I mean, if you get a grant, that's one thing. So you got to be careful how you're spending the money. But I think the image of Fall River is starting to come up a couple of notches. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Cabral.
I attended that event at Make It Here. I lived in the city all my life, and I think having Forest Celebrates Mayor a couple years ago, when I did a logo for Harris State Park, big honor for me in the city. But we're always spending money foolishly, and I think we got to do something for our community, working with the business owners. We have Amazon. Hopefully have a good event in the future, and I'm planning to work with the colleagues like I do elected on City Council.
Thank you. Mr. Kadeen.
Thank you. From my standpoint, I don't know that the concept itself was necessarily wrong. I agree that the city had to or should rebrand its image. I think it's important for us to redefine the city of Fall River and change the perception. However, in order to do that, I think there's a place that we need to start. And I think we were a little premature with the branding itself. I think before we do that, we need to know where we're going. We need to have a master plan. I think we should have, number one, updated a master plan, had a little bit more strategic planning in terms of when it comes to tourism, economic development. When we look at just medical zoning, we're just looking at zoning in general. What do we want to see from a city or as a city? And I think there's a lot of input that needs to come from residents, from the business community. So I think that should have taken place before we spend $50,000 on a branding image. And I think make it here and doesn't really speak to what Fall River is about. And I think we could have done a lot better job on coming up with a branding initiative that really sold the city of Fall River and spoke to our cultural diversity and what we really have to offer.
Thank you. Mr. Joseph Camara.
Thank you. Anything we can do to promote our city is a plus for our city. We need to market our city and promote all the positives that we have in the city. We don't promote the battleship, the waterfront, the Iwo Jima Memorial. We don't promote those things enough. People from outside this community, when they come here for the first time and they walk along our waterfront and they see that beautiful monument and they see the battleship and then they work their way into the Marine Museum and they say to themselves, wow, we never realized Fall River had this. So it's something that we need to do. It's a beginning. It's a plus.
Steve Camara.
Well, Make It Here is really the product that we bought, and the concept is a good one. Make it here, whether you're a family that's trying to earn a living and keep the kids well-clothed and well-educated, you can make it here. It's also something that can be used to talk about the kinds of products that are made here. The theme is good, and I think what we need to do now is expand upon that theme.
FRCmedia News is pleased to say that all City Council candidates attended both forums, except for attorney and candidate Brad Kilby, who was unable to make the second event as scheduled due to personal reasons. Now, one of the two ballot questions will ask voters to approve changes to the Home Rule Charter, now in excess of 80 years old. Here are the pros and cons on this issue from two members of the City Charter Review Commission.
Hi, my name is Mike Mioza, and I am the chair of the Fall River Charter Commission. I want to thank my colleagues on the commission for their dedication and hard work over the past 18 months in creating the proposed Home Rule Charter for Fall River. Let me start off by saying this. A charter is the most important single law of any city. So why did I undertake a revision of our charter? There are too many reasons to listen to 3 minutes I have been provided, but I will mention a few. First, our current charter is obsolete, over 83 years old, and this old document has led to many problems in our city. I saw this firsthand during my 4 years as a city councilor. Secondly, the Charter Commission found 12 instances where our current charter conflicts with Massachusetts general law. The current charter is weakened by far too many special acts, which makes it difficult to run our city effectively. Our current charter is simply antiquated. Additionally, our current charter does not require regular reviews. This is a major problem when no one is putting eyes on the document that defines the functions and essential procedures of our city. This new Home Rule Charter is just the beginning of the process in improving our local government. I believe most elected officials want to carry out their responsibilities both efficiently and legally. This Home Rule Charter provides a clear distribution of responsibilities between the City Council and the Mayor. In the next week, you will receive in the mail a copy of the proposed charter, the majority and minority reports, and the ballot question and summary. It is so important you take the time to review these documents so you can make an informed decision when you vote next month. Let me leave you with this. Because our charter is the most important single law of our city, Tuesday, November 7th, represents a historic vote. It has been 83 years since the people of Fall River has had any say in their form of government. Please take part in something that is both special and unique. A no vote means we will continue to have an out-of-date charter designed for a different era, piecemealed by special acts and out of sync with Massachusetts general laws, and unworkable under current conditions. We will be regulated to having the same old government processes that do nothing to help our community and local government move forward. A yes vote means improved city government organization and operations. We will see a clear delineation of lines of responsibility between the legislative and executive branches of government. We will see regular reviews of our charter, which will ensure internal consistency. A yes vote means we will have a modernized charter, one that complies with Massachusetts law and a charter that is easy to read and understand. We will see a charter that has new planning initiatives and a new section on fiscal and financial procedures. I feel a yes vote means we'll have everything to gain for the future and absolutely nothing to lose. I truly believe the charter proposed by the Commission provides the best combination of features to help our community and our government thrive in the years to come. Thank you.
Robelot, and I'm a member of the Fall River Charter Commission. And today I ask the people of Fall River to join me in voting no on the charter question on November 7th. Vote no on the charter to prevent a major increase in the number of signatures required to run for office. Vote no to prevent a lottery system for ballot position. Vote no to prevent city councilors and school committee members from being reimbursed for ordinary expenses. Vote no to prevent future charter commissions from being appointed rather than elected. Vote no to prevent the Corporation Council from having expanded authority in the citizen participation section of the charter. Vote no on the charter to prevent the mayor from sitting on every board and commission. Vote no on the charter to prevent members of the city council from being allowed to remove a mayor from office. Vote no on the charter because this is not what the people of Fall River, in my opinion, voted for when we hired an outside consultant, costing you, the taxpayers, $40,000 of your hard-earned money. Three things people say to me as I discuss the charter with members of the public for over the last 18 months. Why are you rewriting a whole new charter? Why did you spend $40,000 on an outside consultant not from Fall River? And if I had known it was going to be this process, I would not have voted for it. You, the members of the public, are correct. That is why I opposed every article of this charter in the process. That is why I voted no on the final document, and that is why I will vote no on this charter on Tuesday, November 7th. I urge you to read the full document, read all the documents, and draw your own conclusion. Join me in voting no. Let's keep our government the way it is. Let's leave the power with the people, not in the hands of appointed politicians. Join me in voting no on the charter question Tuesday, November 7th. Thank you.
Another ballot question will ask residents to approve a $123 million loan order to fix the water treatment facility, as well as to help fund the combined sewer overflow project. Also in Tuesday's election, 7 of the 11 remaining candidates running for school committee will be voted into office. Candidate Jessica Wong, remembered, dropped out of the race due to personal reasons. As the remaining candidates, though, gear up for Election Day, School Superintendent Matt Malone tells FRCmedia News he is looking forward to working with the elected body once they are sworn into office.
My message to anyone running for school committee is we have a really strong working relationship currently. We want to maintain that. We want to focus on the good work of kids in schools. We want to make wise decisions based on the merit of those decisions, and we want to restore public trust and confidence to how we spend our money, how we behave, how we treat each other, how we act. Everyone's watching. No matter who gets elected to the school committee, the committee that we currently have and the values that we hold will continue to drive forward. That's the value of highly effective governance. So I've been blessed this past year that we've had a great school committee. And when I was told before I came here that, oh, Fall River, don't go there, their school committee is dysfunctional, that was the farthest thing from the truth that I ever heard. This committee is one of the best I've ever been able to work for, and I've done this work for 11 years. I'm going to miss the ones that leave, respect them and honor them for their service, but I look forward to welcoming new members on. The 7-member body is the governance authority of the system, and as their steward, as their CEO, I will ensure that we achieve the goals that they set. So, to me, I just want folks that like kids, that love this work, that love this city, and are focused on the bigger issues, not the smaller personal issues. you know, and I've been blessed, as I said, to have a good committee that does that, and we're going to continue that because I know the folks that are running are good people, and I'm excited to get to know them better.
Stay tuned. We'll be back right after this.
Today we have Chance. He is a pit bull. He was brought in with his brother Titan, who you also may have heard of. He is around 5 years old. He is nervous at first. Takes him a bit to warm up, but as soon as he does, he's probably one of the best dogs we have. He's a good boy and he loves to be loved up on. He knows how to sit. He does pull on the leash, unlike his brother. It does take a bit to get used to his strength. So he's a pretty easy dog. He loves to smile, he loves to give kisses, he loves to get hugs. So if you're interested in him at all, or any of the other dogs and cats and variety of animals that we have here at the shelter, feel free to come visit us.
So this is Junior. He's approximately 4 to 5 years old. He's unaltered, and we believe he's a Flemish giant. He would do best in a home that's very knowledgeable about rabbits. And he's very big. He's about 10 to 12 pounds. If you want to come see him, we're at 300 Linwood Street, Fall River, Mass. And we're open every day to the public except for Wednesdays, 11 to 4. And he's definitely a ladies' man.
That's it for this edition of FRC Media News. You can catch FRC Media News Friday at 6 p.m., but our online news site is available 24/7 at frcmedianews.org. For everyone here at FRC Media News, I'm Donna Mata. Have a great week. We'll see you next Thursday.